Basically what you have is you have the history of the 47 Ronin, which happened in 1702 or 1703, depending on which historian you ask. And you have the tradition of Chushingura. And the tradition of Chushingura is the telling of that story. So whereas the history has firsthand accounts, it has documentation up the wazoo, Chushingura is more our interpretation of the spirit of that story. And the spirit of that story is about loyalty, it's about honor, it's about revenge, it's about sacrifice, and it's about all of the things that we think of in Bushido, which is a code of conduct and a code of honor in that time. It was about taking a lot of characters in mythology that was already in the Japanese culture and has been in the Japanese culture for hundreds and hundreds of years, and bringing it to life on the screen in a way that the Western audience has certainly not seen, and the Eastern audience has not seen, especially in Japan, has not seen on this kind of production level. So the idea was 47 Ronin as a history, as an inspiration for the valor of those men, but view it through the eyes of a fantasy, and a fantasy that's grounded on Japanese mythology. Whether it's the story of the outcast, which is something that as a Western audience we can understand very well. Keanu is that outcast, and he's the outcast that's brought in and accepted over the course of the film by Oishi, who's effectively his adoptive brother, more or less. It's the story of revenge between Oishi against Lord Kira, who was the cause of the death of his master. So it's Oishi seeking revenge for the death of his master. It's a love story between Mika and Kai, which is a love story that can never be. So these were all the things that we set out to do to make those types of connections. When we started out to make this film, we worked together every single step of the way. And during the shooting of it, we worked together every step of the way. And he is as good a guy as you could ever imagine. Obviously, he's a movie star, and we know him from all the big movies that he's made, but he's also just an incredibly and sincerely good man. And incredibly intelligent. And from story meetings to design ideas, he's receptive to things and also incredibly creative and very much a part of the team. I consider him a good friend, a collaborator, and just all in all, fantastic person. We had everything from 47 men infiltrating a castle and trying to have the perfect assassination attempt. Of course, it goes wrong and it turns into a big, McLoicus. It turns into a big mess where you've got our 47 guys fighting against hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and then the one-on-one battles. So expect that. Expect the big action. We built the big sets. They're real people. It's real fighting.